Listen up, 12s, because my heart is absolutely racing right now, and I need you to lock in. We are standing at a massive crossroads in Seattle, and the tension in the air is thick enough to cut with a knife. This offseason was supposed to be about defending our title, but instead we are staring down a potential nightmare scenario that could rip the soul out of our defense. We are building the greatest tribe of Seahawks fans on the planet, so hit that subscribe button right now, because we need all 1,000 of you to join the fight together. Let's get real, because I am losing sleep over this situation with Devon Witherspoon, and I know you are too. This isn't just another contract negotiation, because Devon Witherspoon is the literal heartbeat of our secondary, and the thought of him not being a Seahawk for the next decade is physically painful. This isn't like the Russell Wilson era where we saw the decline coming, or the Geno Smith situation where age was a factor, because Devon Witherspoon is 25 years old and arguably hasn't even touched his prime yet. He is a certified unicorn who can play inside or outside and hit like a freight train in the run game, which is something you just don't see from cornerbacks in this league. Mike Macdonald didn't come here just to coach a defense. He came here to build a masterpiece around a chess piece like Devon Witherspoon. We saw him recover that fumble against Atlanta, and the energy just shifted instantly because he is a game changer who makes everyone around him play 10 times harder. The man is elite in zone, and he is a nightmare in man coverage, while also being one of the best blitzing corners the NFL has seen in years. You could have a top 5 draft pick, and you still wouldn't find a player with this level of grit and versatility. So why are we even playing games with him when he has 2 years left, and we should be locking him down forever? I look at this roster, and I see a championship window that is wide open, but that window slams shut the moment you take number 21 off the field. Do you honestly think this defense survives without his fire and his ability to shut down an entire side of the field? We are talking about a player who redefined what it means to be a physical corner in the modern era, and letting him walk, or even considering a trade, feels like a betrayal. He is our leader, and we need him here right now. But here is where the raw truth starts to get really uncomfortable, because the silence from the front office is becoming deafening. It is May, and we are heading toward OTAs, and while we should be celebrating a long-term deal, we are instead sitting here with zero updates on the most important player on our defense. It gets even crazier when you look at how the team handled Jaxon Smith-Njigba, because they broke their usual protocol to get his extension done early and left Devon Witherspoon hanging in the wind. Why would John Schneider move so fast on a wide receiver but stay completely quiet on an elite cornerback who literally anchors the entire scheme? There are whispers that the team and the player aren't even close on numbers yet, and that should send a shiver down the spine of every single person in the Pacific Northwest. We are talking about a market that was just reset by Trent McDuffie at $31 million a year, and everyone with eyes knows that Devon Witherspoon is a better and more valuable asset than Trent McDuffie could ever dream of being. If the Seahawks are trying to lowball him at $25 million while he is looking for $35 million, then we are heading toward a collision course that could destroy our locker room chemistry. It makes me wonder if the management actually understands the value of what they have, or if they are blinded by their own spreadsheets and salary cap projections. They don't want you to know how deep this divide might actually be, but the lack of progress speaks louder than any press release ever could. Is it possible that Devon Witherspoon feels disrespected because he wasn't the first one called to the table? I am honestly starting to panic because I have seen this movie before, and it usually ends with a star player wearing a different jersey and us fans left wondering what happened. We must protect our house and keep our best players here in Seattle because we want to win titles. Now, we have to look at the other side of this because as much as it hurts to say out loud, we have to talk about the risks. Devon Witherspoon has missed 8 games in his first 3 seasons, and he doesn't have that perfectly clean injury history that someone like Jaxon Smith-Njigba carries. His coverage stats aren't always perfect because he doesn't have a massive amount of interceptions, and his size does make it tough when he goes up against the absolute giants of the league. Could John Schneider be looking at those flaws and deciding that he isn't worth a record-breaking contract? It is a dangerous game to play because we are talking about the soul of the team. But John Schneider has proven time and time again that he is not afraid to walk away from a star if the price isn't right. He has been rewarded for these massive gambles in the past, and he might think he can catch lightning in a bottle twice by trading away a blue-chip talent for a mountain of draft picks. We are talking about a man who loves to roll the dice, and he might be looking at the 2027 draft class and thinking he can find the next big thing while saving $40 million in cap space. But this is exactly where the redemption arc could turn into a total disaster for us, because you cannot replace the instinct and the dog mentality that Devon Witherspoon brings every single Sunday. What happens if this defense falls apart without him and we realize too late that we traded away the cornerstone of our future? I am your best friend in this community, and I am telling you right now that I am terrified of John Schneider trying to be the smartest guy in the room again. We have a title to defend in 2026, and doing that without our best defensive player sounds like a suicide mission. We need him now because he is the heartbeat of this team, and we cannot let him go. Seriously, I am losing my mind just thinking about the possibilities, because the league is watching this situation like hawks, and they are waiting for us to blink. If Devon Witherspoon plays through the 2026 season without a new deal, we are entering a zone of extreme danger that could lead to a shocking trade that remakes our entire roster. Think about the pressure of trying to pay Sam Darnold and Byron Murphy their mega extensions. At the same time, we are trying to satisfy the demands of an elite corner. It is a financial puzzle that might not have a solution if Devon Witherspoon refuses to take a penny less than what he is worth on the open market. I have a theory that John Schneider is already scouting replacements just in case this standoff turns into a full-blown divorce after the season ends. Can you imagine the fallout if we trade him to a team like the Commanders? Imagine Dan Quinn getting his hands on a talent like that while we are left with draft picks that might turn into busts. We saw what happened when Sauce Gardner was moved for 2 first-round picks, and while that sounds like a lot of capital, it doesn't mean anything if you can't find a player who can replicate that production. I am holding on to hope that this is just typical off-season posturing. But the vibe feels different this time around because the stakes have never been higher for this core group. We are supposed to be a family, but it feels like the business side of the NFL is threatening to tear us apart at the seams. I want to believe that Devon Witherspoon will be in a Seahawks uniform for the rest of his career, but my gut is telling me that we are in for a very bumpy ride. Every time I see a highlight of him making a play, I feel joy and dread. We must stay loud and make sure our voices are heard by the big decision makers. At the end of the day, we just need to get the man his money and stop playing these games with our future. Devon Witherspoon is a generational talent who deserves every single cent of a market-setting contract. And if we lose him over a few $1 million, then we deserve the fallout. This team has a legacy of greatness, but that legacy is built on the backs of players who play with a chip on their shoulder just like number 21 does. I want to see a vision of the future where Devon Witherspoon is hoisting another Lombardi trophy in Seattle and cementing his place as the greatest cornerback in the history of this franchise. We are at a point where we have to decide if we are going to be aggressive and keep our stars, or if we are going to keep throwing the dice and hoping for a miracle. I am demanding that you all head to the comments right now and let your voices be heard, because the front office needs to know how much we value this man. Is this our year to repeat as champions, or are we being let down by a management team that is too afraid to pay the price of greatness? I want to see your fire and your passion down below, because we are the 12s, and our voice matters more than any spreadsheet ever will. Don't let them tell you that he is replaceable, because we all know the truth that there is only one Devon Witherspoon in this world. We are building something special here on this channel, and I need you to be part of the journey as we navigate this chaotic offseason together. Make sure you are subscribed and following every update, because things are moving fast, and we cannot afford to miss a single beat of this story. Let's show the world that Seattle stands behind its players, and we won't settle for anything less than excellence in every aspect of the game. Go Hawks!